Thought about this a lot.
Okay, this is a little bit of a different question.
I'm Lys Guillorn. I started out writing words and writing music. And then I was so frustrated that I couldn't get them to join together. And then when I was in, I think it was freshman year of high school, I went to a summer youth arts program. And I took a songwriting class. It wasn't what I was there for. I was there for visual arts. But in this songwriting class, we got wonderful assignments like writing, we had to write a song based on a packaged item, like wheat thins or, Head and Shoulders shampoo. So just use text from anywhere on the package and rearrange it to make a song. And just having that assignment helped me write my first song. I don't even remember what it was. That assignment somehow freed me up to not have to worry about all of songwriting being my burden.
When you were beginning to write songs, what did you struggle with the most?
Just starting, finding a way in and realizing I didn't have to follow anyone else's set way of doing things, that I could make it my own.
What aspects of songwriting are you focusing on improving right now?
Right now, I'm going through a period of not writing, or not finishing things. So I've got a lot of pieces, and I really want to finish a bunch of stuff. I think my plan is to go somewhere with no distractions, no cleaning to do, no cooking to do, no work to do, and just focus on the music that's already in my head and write some words and then come back and finish a bunch of stuff.
What artists or bands have been your biggest inspirations?
When I was growing up, my parents had this good record collection and I would listen to what they were listening to. So the Beatles, Rolling Stones, the Monkees, and then when I came of age in the 80s and 90s, Patti Smith. So combining poetry with explosive rock, and she had a powerful way of delivering things, and it wasn't, a very feminine voice. That was like, pow, okay, maybe I could do this. And then with Riot Girl and stuff like that in the 90s, I felt like there was a range of expression that spoke to me. There was room for me in rock and roll.
What do you usually do when you're writing a song and you get stuck? Aside from like long-term writer's block, what do you usually do?
I let it percolate a bit, just freeing my mind so I'm not sitting there. I call it chaining the muse. Also going to see another person's show. I like to write while other people are playing sometimes. Or going to a coffee house and sitting there and writing outside of my normal environment.
As a woman in a male-dominant industry, what sort of challenges have you faced?
I've thought about this a lot. The primary problem, I think, is I get labeled as a female songwriter or a woman songwriter, and people expect that to be a genre. That's not a genre of music. I may not necessarily deliver what the gender norm might be for a woman and have a, high lilting soprano or something. I'm going to do what I do no matter what. I feel constrained. I'm just trying to be me. And also sexist behavior of some booking people and sound people or other people at a show. I've run into some interesting situations where over the years I've gained experience to say, this is what I need. But when I was younger, I may not have been able to ask if something made me feel uncomfortable, or someone was saying, this is how it's going to be. I need to be able to ask for it. Another thing is people commenting on your appearance.
Yeah.
So feeling forced to flirt, people touching you. It's smarmy and gross. And I think over the last year, some younger songwriters on the scene calling out some guys helped me to realize that some things that were happening repeatedly were not okay. And I privately told one of the people that that wasn't okay, and I felt stronger and gained strength from a fresh perspective from younger women, and I really was thankful for that.
What advice would you give to beginning songwriters?
Just start and make a lot of mistakes and listen to as much music as possible. Read voraciously. Walk in nature. Pay attention in science class. Because you never know where you're going to find the obsessive thing that sparks your imagination. Carry a pen and a journal everywhere. You never know when you're going to capture a bit of conversation, or your friend orders something at the diner that you go, oh wow, I'm going to turn that into a song. Like my song Sunny Side Down was an actual diner breakfast order of my best friend from grade school. I was like, wow, that's going to be great. And I wrote that down, and then I wrote a song. And always be listening and have a deep listening to the music that's already in your head. And if you can be ready to then transcribe a little bit of that, see what comes out.
You were talking earlier about the exercises they gave you. Have you used anything like that recently?
A couple of years ago, my friend Elisa Flynn had a show where she asked people to go find photos in junk shops and then write songs based on the photos. And that was super fun, and I think that's something I'm going to do again. Also, giving friends assignments and getting friends to give you assignments is helpful. I had a songwriting group with a bunch of friends for a while, and every now and then someone would give out a concept like spin cycle, and we would run with them.
I'm wondering if you could walk me through how you wrote one of your songs.
All right. We'll talk about Sunny Side Down because I mentioned that it started off with the diner order of a friend of mine. I think I just sat down with that in mind and came up with this riff. So once I went from there, I wanted to keep it minor. And yeah, the words just kind of fell out.
So what was your initial connection between Sunny Side Down and what the idea ended up being?
I freed myself up from writing my own perspective. So I thought someone who had the attitude of being Sunny Side Down would be a villain.
Okay.
So I thought of the show Sherlock and Moriarty. So I had that in mind about this kind of villainous, dark character. I don't take anything easy. I don't beg for mercy. I don't ask for your good advice. I don't even know my own song. But it's everything have to be nice. I like it sunny side down. So, yeah.
That's such a catchy riff.
Thank you. A lot of times I'll just sit down at the guitar and come up with a little riff and then just start singing and figure out what emotional quality the guitar inspires me to write about. A lot of times for me, music and melody are fused together. So I kind of write everything all at once. But now I'm trying to do a little bit more where I write words that are attached to something already.
Now, I noticed with that riff that you had like a scale going. Were you, did you learn classical guitar first?
No. My ear is my guitar teacher. So I listen to a lot of music, and then my songs tell me how to play guitar. So I'm always writing a little bit beyond my playing ability.
So how has your performance technique changed over time?
It's gotten easier to play in public because I had to hijack a reserved personality in order to play in front of people. Just over the 20 years I've been doing this, gotten more and more comfortable playing the guitar and singing at the same time. Right now I'm taking voice lessons in New York City. And it's a wonderful process. I'm learning things that I didn't learn in voice lessons when I was in high school. I can't wait to see where this goes.
Is there anything you would like to plug?
Well, I could just plug the split single I made with Julie Beeman
Okay.
called Chipped Fingernails / The River Wants to Turn Me Around. The first song is a song that I wrote and play with my band, and then the second song is one that Julie wrote. You don't want to chain the muse to the...
Rocky. Okay.
That's great.
Bird calls out, I keep